Now here we go. Here we go. Now, when we come into the luminaries, families, guys, you can go back. You could go back to all the synastry breakdowns we did in 2023 on my YouTube. When it's significant, when we have like a true twin flame or soulmate or soul tie situation, we most likely are gonna see some opposites or squares between the sun and moon. It's it's just a law, guys. All right. It's not even, I don't even get surprised anymore because you need that type of friction between the sun and moon to be able to have that gravitational pull and want to understand each other. Squares, oppositions create friction, create issues, creates problems that you're forced to learn, you're forced to develop answers for, you're forced to find solutions. So this is what keeps the pull between people, but this is what also helps them to have create that effort and the intention to understand each other. Nelly's moon is at 13 degrees. Even though we don't have Nelly's birth time, we know it's ranging somewhere around this space. Nelly got a 13-degree moon. Ashanti got is 11 degrees Sagittarius moon. Look at that opposite energy. Look at that opposite energy. All right. So this is why they're gonna jump into a lot of things dealing with they're gonna have clashes when it comes to their ideologies about things with partnerships, how they should go about the partnerships. Now, the two things about these signs that they have in common, even though they're opposite, they both love to learn and they both love to explore. And these two signs don't like heavy energy. So off rip, I can tell Nelly might have been in a lot of spaces where he was holding heavy energy. Well, Ashanti does have a Venus in the 8th house. So that is similar to Nelly's Venus in Scorpio as far as the vulnerability dealing with the love language, you know. But Nelly got way more vulnerability dealing with it, way more vulnerability, way more potential to hold a grudge, having the Sun and Venus and Mars and Uranus, which is exalted in Scorpio, cusping it. All right. So yes, Nelly is one passionate brother and one emotionally stubborn brother. Wouldn't be surprised if you go look at interviews of why they broke up or articles why they broke up the first time, you know, whether there is a lot of information out on it or not. I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to intuitively pick up that Ashanti wanted to keep an effort to make things work, and Nelly might have been a little bit too power controlling. And I'm not saying Ashanti can't be power controlling because she got that Venus in the 8th house and it's in Virgo. So she can be power controlling with love matters in a sense of trying to fix and build everything, right? Fix, passionate about fixing, building, seeing how she could, you know, make something right instead of learning to, like, you know, fall back a little bit and let time heal things. She may press the issue. That may be a little bit too intense for Nelly, all his Scorpio energies in general, because he's going to want to be controlling or at least create an environment where he feels like, you know, his emotions is concentrated the way he wants to have his emotions concentrated. You know, Scorpio's fixed water. But before we even get there, the fact that Nelly has the Gemini moon and Ashanti's the Sagittarius moon, when it comes into their emotional nature, even though we just highlighted that they have some vulnerability and that heavy 8th house energy around their love language, when it comes into their true emotional nature, they don't like holding things heavy. That is one thing Sagittarius and Gemini have in common. Gemini is not going to stay mad or angry about something for long. Neither is Sagittarius, being damn near the most optimistic sign in the zodiac. So not only is this indicating, twin flame soulmate energy off the rip, we want to start seeing more past life influences looking at the nodes now, right? But not only is it indicating more of a soulmate bond or potential to create a soulmate bond if it wasn't already established in a past life, it's showing that they were able to learn so much from their first occurrence, their first experiences diving back into the situation. You gotta understand, Gemini and Sagittarius, these type of signs, they like to experience what's new. Gemini can come back to what's familiar because it got a 3rd house presence. So if Gemini is involved with a person, place, or thing, and it falls out of connection with that, with something that it's already familiar with, Gemini still likes to stay in cahoots with things that it's already has experience with. Sagittarius is the sign that may like to get out of a relationship and explore something new, something brand new. That's really how they like to move a lot of the time. You have to understand that about them. So the fact that they're both studious signs, when it comes into them coming back around, this is why it's so powerful that they're able to tighten the bond now, because there's a new sense of philosophy, ideology. Gemini ideology, Mercury, Gemini relationship activity, Sagittarius philosophy, understanding, knowingness, right? But this is the opposite charge. This is the opposite charge, and this is what they're able to tighten their bond up with this time around. You know, they may be stuck to each other like glue. So, guys, to be honest with y'all, excuse me, whenever we looking at synastry, let's say you meet somebody. I always tell you, I want to see the balance of things. But if we could find positive and negative charges just between the sun and the moon, this is so much potential to tighten the bond. Because the positive charges, the positive alignments, which would be sextiles, trines, this shows the conjunctions, which are very powerful. We know this is showing a sense of understanding, relatability. But when we find that negative charge, that's the friction that keeps us wanting to figure out the differences between each other. So when we're looking at, once again, Nelly's moon in Gemini, trines Ashanti's sun in Libra. Then Ashanti's moon in Sagittarius is a neighbor sign to Nelly's Scorpio sun. Nelly's Scorpio sun is a neighbor sign to Ashanti's Libra sun. Now, we don't even want to highlight the neighbor signs for real, because that's not like a specific alignment. However, Ashanti's Sagittarius moon, okay, I'm bugging. I was about to say sextile, but yeah, it's got that opposite pull on we got the opposite energy with the moons, and we got the trine energy between the sun and the moon. So that's powerful energy, family, off rip. Off rip. Okay. Now, getting more into their Venuses, let's look at some node activity. Ashanti got the node 17 degrees Leo. 17 degrees Leo. Where's Nelly node? 10 degrees Sag. They're soulmates. They're soulmates. All right. This is more, I don't, there's not, when we see the North Node hitting the luminary, this is huge potential for the soulmate bond in this lifetime. When we see activity with the South Node, that's letting us know a lot about past life influences. Nelly's node 10 degrees, guys, in Sagittarius. Ashanti's moon 11 degrees in Sagittarius. So you can say what you want to say about Nelly not marrying her before having a baby, this and the third. They're spiritual, their bond is spiritual. Now, because it's in Sagittarius, Nelly is here to experience new things when it comes to his expression of his philosophies, being able to explore outside of his surroundings. The thing is, he's a Gemini moon. So he may have had intense battles dealing with breaking out of his surroundings in some type of shape or form to explore new things, but also making sure he holds on to his comfort zone. So all his life, his Sagittarius North Node is pushing him to get out of his surroundings, to evolve out of the mentalities the people close to him may have, or the programs in his neighborhood, the programs of the people that he's most close with. Even though that is his comfort zone, right? Even though the node is opposite your moon, you're not supposed to leave your moon. You're not gonna leave your moon, because your moon is what makes you feel the most comfortable in this lifetime. Okay, but he has to find that balance of jumping into opposite energies for his spiritual development, for his spiritual expansion. And when you got the node in Sagittarius, that's about you experiencing, exploring in this lifetime in general. So I could tell that's such a battle. Every time he got close or built tight bonds around people around him, eventually he had to break out. We know that, his group was Saint Lunatics. And over time, Ali and some of these artists started mentioning how, Nelly ain't write country grammar. We wrote, Ali say writing country grammar, or you just seeing him break out as the solo star in general. So that could just be a little example of Gemini relationship energy, the moon, the relatability, his comfort zone, working with the group, working with the ideologies of the group, but then eventually having to break out and experience something dealing with his own, expression in some type of shape or form. Now, why did I just break down Nelly's personal battle between his moon and Gemini opposing his north node? Because when Ashanti comes when her moon in Sagittarius, she already understands, has full wisdom, keyword Sagittarius, wisdom, knowledge, and wisdom of things, knowing how to break out of your environment, how to explore, experience something new. I bet you when Ashanti got on with Irv Gotti and Ja Rule and they was making all these hits, Murder Inc., I bet you her influence getting into the state of, dealing with the industry, making music, creating new things. I bet you they tell you Ashanti probably so easy to work with because she a sun in Libra, sextiling her moon in Sagittarius. So it's strong relatability energy, but it's always intrigued to work, create, experience new things, explore new things. Like Ashanti, we want you to try this hook. Ashanti, we want you to try this rhythm. Okay, all right, let's see how it goes. All right. Now her sun is conjunct Pluto, so don't let that smile fool you. She can charm and disarm to try to gain power and control. All right. It's just that her power and controlling influences may not come off demeaning or super aggressive at times, the way Nelly's sun conjunct moon and sun conjunct Venus and Mars in Scorpio could come off aggressive. The appearance and demeanor of it will be aggressive, no smile, serious, creased forehead. Not Ashanti. She gonna smile and charm and disarm you, trying to get her power and controlling. So they both got power and controlling energies in general amongst love matters. Ashanti's power and controlling energies is that Sun conjunct Pluto in Libra and that Venus in the eighth house in Virgo. So she, once again, charm and disarm through a smile, but also trying to fix format things, doing practical things. Venus in Virgo in the eighth house. So Ashanti's Venus is all messed up. It's debilitated in Virgo. It's in its false state in Virgo and is debilitated in the eighth house. So she, as pretty and beautiful as she is, best and believe Ashanti had to, you know, uh, go through different chapters in her life, learning how to keep her self-esteem in a positive space. Um, Also, being that she's a Libra sun with a Pluto conjunct her sun, I know she dealt with relationships with people projecting on her in some type of shape or form. Nelly could have might have been that person at time, but projecting on her, expressing certain things, to make her not feel confident about her appearance and expression in some type of shape or form. It's not it's not a guess or a question. No, she's dealt with that. You got heavy Pluto energies on your appearance and your love language, and the sign that is ruling your appearance, Libra, the ruler is Venus, and that's in the eighth house. So yeah, she's went through so many transformative situations when it comes into power and controlling influences with her love language and not feeling worthy, not feeling capable when it comes into situations and relationships. So we could probably look up articles right now. We could probably look up articles right now. And if there's anything with Ashanti interviews, anything her talking about her relationship life, this, that, and the third, I don't know how much information might be out about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's expressed these things. Okay. Ugh. So Ashanti's moon in Sagittarius, it never fails, guys. These guys are spiritually bonded. They spiritually married. Don't give a damn about no wedding ring and ceremony. All right. Ashanti's moon conjuncts Nelly's north node. So Nelly gets around Ashanti and starts to feel confirmation in the things that he's experiencing that's forcing him to break out of his surroundings, break out of, you know, uh, quote unquote staying, not staying loyal to his close relationships, but feeling guilty for expanding beyond his close